OutDaughtered star Adam Busby says wife Danielle has undergone her most invasive medical test so far, and that he's praying it leads to answers and a clear direction for the doctors. OutDaughtered star Adam Busby said he was praying for his wife Danielle as she remains hospitalized with a mystery illness. Today is the day of at Busby's most invasive test so far, the reality star, 38, said of his spouse, 37, Tuesday on Instagram. Praying it leads to answers and a clear direction for the doctors. He accompanied the message with a shot of Danielle in a hospital bed around 2 months after she was initially hospitalized with the ailment and asked fans for prayers over speculation. The latest, OutDaughtered star Adam Busby, 38, said he was praying for his wife Danielle as she remains hospitalized with a mystery illness. "This is all we are comfortable with sharing at the moment," Busby said. "Please respect that in this current time of uncertainty and refrain from speculation. Just asking for prayers. We will definitely share updates as Danielle is comfortable." He took to Instagram stories to address the well-wishing messages his family has received amid the health crisis. "Thank you to everyone for all the prayers, comments, and messages today," he said, adding that the prayers were felt. Danielle had previously updated her fans on her health situation in an Instagram stories post earlier this week, explaining in detail the number of specialists she's seen and tests she's undergone. The couple, who have been married for 14 years, are parents to 6 girls, Blake, 9, and 5-year-old Quintuplets Ava, Olivia, Riley, Parker, and Hazel. "I have been seeing multiple doctors to try and help figure out what's going on with me. I was led to the care of a cardiologist and rheumatologist who have both been amazing," she said. "Lots of tests have been done for both doctors. Some results have come back okay, and some not so much." The couple, who have been married for 14 years, are parents to 6 girls, Blake, 9, and 5-year-old Quintuplets Ava, Olivia, Riley, Parker, and Hazel. In November, Adam took to the social media site with a health update on Danielle after she initially felt ill. "Crazy how fast your day can turn if you would. Please say a prayer for at Busby," he wrote. Currently in the ER running tests for some alarming sensations in her arms and legs. "It just happened rather quickly today. She was back at home for Christmas prior to her latest health setback." Share or comment on this article. OutDaughtered star Adam Busby says wife Danielle has undergone her most invasive medical test. OutDaughtered sneak peek. Adam and Danielle Busby discuss their changing roles exclusive. With Danielle devoting more hours to running the family business, Adam has begun taking on increased household responsibilities. Tensions are running high at the Busby household. In People's exclusive sneak peek of Tuesday night's OutDaughtered episode, Adam and Danielle Busby navigate their changing roles within their household. With Danielle devoting more hours to the family business Busby, which recently opened up a storefront, Adam has had to take on more duties at home. The clip begins with Danielle explaining the flip of perspective that they're experiencing as parents of 6. They share eldest daughter Blake, 12, and quintuplets Olivia, Hazel, Riley, Parker, and Ava, who were 7 at the time of filming but are now 8.
"For 4 years, it was me at home," she says.
"And now, it's still an adjustment of change." Adam opens up to his wife about things being stressful at home.
"There's a lot that goes on," he says.
"Like, things spiral out of control really quickly in our house. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, everything's been great, and it's been perfect. Days get hard and days get frustrating," he continues. "Some days are just more annoying than others. I don't hold any, grudge or any kind of animosity for it. It's just, it is what it is." Danielle notes in response how she doesn't like missing things or not being part of something, even though she knows she can't realistically juggle it all. "I love Busby. I love what I do. I love my job.
I love it all," she says.
But I also love my family and my house." Adam urges Danielle to figure out a balance between everything, adding that she can sometimes be a control freak. "You choose to do stuff that other people are more than capable of doing," he says. "You need to find that balance. You're having a battle with yourself in your mind about, do I do enough? Or am I doing enough?" Adam also tells her he's trying to take stuff off your plate, but that she continues to pile things on, later finding herself feeling upset about missing things with the kids. After, Danielle tells producers, "As hard as it is for me to not be there and do something, it also is important for me to be growing this business. So we have to really be a team. And we're not there yet." OutDaughtered, star Danielle Busby calls her health struggles an up-and-down journey. The reality star opened up about how her health issues have impacted her daily life with her husband and 6 daughters. With 6 active daughters, all under the age of 13, OutDaughtered stars Adam and Danielle Busby don't have much time to slow down. But that's exactly what they were forced to do when Danielle's health started failing, the couple told Us Weekly. "I used to not be able to get upstairs without feeling like I was going to pass out," Danielle, 39, said while promoting the season 9 premiere of their TLC reality hit about life with Adam, 41, daughter Blake, now 12, and their 8-year-old quintuplets, the only all-girl quintuplets in America, Ava, Olivia, Riley, Hazel, and Parker. "That's just not a norm for me. I was always athletic and kind of fit, and we've always taken care of ourselves. So for my body to go so down, it just was alarming." She said she first noticed an issue after the quintuplets were born in 2015. "After I had them, my body never kind of recovered because it was non-stop movement. I was living a life of adrenaline for years," Danielle explained. "So when my body started to slow down and they were in school and kindergarten and first grade, really my body wasn't used to this. And so I went into this shock." She said she was suffering from migraines and treated for fibromyalgia, which, according to the Mayo Clinic, is characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain accompanied by fatigue, sleep, memory, and mood issues. "I cannot be okay," she added. "And so I really had to slow down, and my body still goes through flare-ups here and there. I have tons of inflammation." While Adam explained last year that we do know it's an autoimmune disorder, he also added that it could be one of 1,000 different things. And Danielle admits that they're still trying to pinpoint exactly what this is. "Is there a specific name for this?" "No," she says. "But there's a lot of indicators that I've been aware of with certain food reactions and replenishing my body with the right nutritions and vitamins and stuff, which has been helpful. I see a neurologist pretty frequently that helps me with a lot of the nerve issues." She also hasn't suffered a debilitating migraine in 6 months, and adds, "I am doing a whole lot better." Still, she says, "It's hard sometimes to even explain what I'm feeling or how my body is reacting to something, even in the view of Adam, because he's like, 'You look fine, you were fine yesterday.' It's annoying, it's frustrating, and there's days where I didn't do anything extreme, and I just will get up and I can't move my hands and my feet, and so it's an up-and-down journey." OutDaughtered, Adam and Danielle worry Hazel freezes up as she tries to conquer a major first exclusive. In People's exclusive sneak peek, Adam Busby fretted over how Hazel's vision impairment was impacting her development as Danielle urged him to encourage Hazel to speak up for herself amid challenges. Hazel Busby is gearing up to conquer a major milestone on OutDaughtered. In People's exclusive sneak peek at Tuesday's episode, Adam Busby tells wife Danielle Busby that their daughter Hazel learning to ride her bike is a work in progress. Hazel, who was 7 at the time of filming and is now 8, was born with an eye condition called congenital nystagmus, an involuntary movement of the eye. As the rest of the Quints chat excitedly about their bike riding skills, Parker called herself the fastest bike rider in the whole entire earth, while Riley and Olivia claimed they could stand up on their bikes. Hazel appears discouraged and admits, "I'm not excited to learn how to ride my bike." Adam then voices his concerns to Danielle. "She just doesn't get that she just needs to pedal hard," he says of Hazel. "Like, she's gotta pedal. If she feels at all like she starts to get kind of tippy, she just stops. She kind of freezes up." Danielle points out that Ava did the same thing when she learned to ride a bike and admits that she's not surprised Hazel is nervous. The thing is, how much are her glasses helping whenever she's moving fast? Adam questions. She normally isn't moving that fast. And so it's like she doesn't quite trust herself. Danielle is skeptical. "To me, that doesn't mean anything that has to do with vision," she says. "Look at Ava. Ava gets nervous to go fast on a bike and is kind of still scared of it. So I don't know if it's like vision or not. I just don't want to jump to that being the thing every time," Danielle adds. "I don't like doing that to her. Because we wouldn't second guess that if it was any of the other girls. But because Hazel has nystagmus, we must immediately say, this is what this is. In an interview with producers, Danielle explains more about nystagmus and how it simply means Hazel's eyes flutter. Your first reaction with Hazel is, can she not see clearly? She says. But Hazel's also learning how to speak up for herself, so that's a whole another question. Adam chimes in. It's just, we don't know what we don't know. And until Hazel can fully understand and communicate exactly what she sees and what she's feeling at any given moment, we just do the best that we can. Danielle tells Adam she sometimes thinks they automatically assume Hazel's vision is the reason she's struggling, but that it might not be the case here. Adam says he agrees with that, but at the same time, he's not just going to shove her down the driveway. It's more about her just speaking up for herself and communicating, Danielle says. However, Adam is still concerned that Hazel isn't quite trusting what she sees. When Danielle questions if Adam has tried simply asking Hazel what she's feeling, he pauses and then responds, I'll try that. OutDaughtered, star Danielle Busby responds to her and Adam's online parent shamers. OutDaughtered stars Danielle Busby opens up to GoodHousekeeping.com about how she and her husband Adam deal with online critics and parent shamers. Danielle and Adam are parents to 6 girls, 5 are Quintuplets. OutDaughtered Season 5 airs Tuesday nights on TLC. On July 30th, new episodes will air from 7 p.m. to 11:04 p.m. Adam and Danielle Busby of TLC's OutDaughtered are constantly working hard for their family. As parents of 6 little girls, 5 of which are Quintuplets, the couple is always doing what they can to make sure Olivia Marie, Ava Lane, Hazel Grace, Parker Kate, Riley Paige, and Blake Louise are as happy and healthy as possible. Unfortunately, though, being in the spotlight has made them susceptible to lots of online haters and parent shamers. Danielle tells GoodHousekeeping.com that everything from her and Adam's date night Instagrams to a small decision on the show gets picked apart. One thing in particular that Danielle says she often deals with is people criticizing that she and Adam set a night every week for alone time. It's something we have done literally since we had Blake, and we get hit in a negative way, which is so strange, Danielle explains to us. Just because we have our kids doesn't mean that we should not go out and have time together. She continued, I think there's this stigma out there, especially when people look at Adam and I because we do have 6 kids. I think the priority is and should always be the relationship of the marriage, because that's how it all started. Danielle went on to explain that she posts photos of her and Adam on social media because she believes in encouraging couples with kids to try to squeeze in more date nights, even if it's just as simple as grabbing coffee together. Danielle also wants to be a source inspiration in other ways, especially when it comes to physical health. When we're posting on social media, there's so much hate and negativity out there. I want to show people what is doable and encourage through fitness and motivation, she says. I think that people want to rant on all the negative and you never see a lot of positive. It's very rare that people talk about how good something is. While Danielle admits that her and Adam are not perfect by any means, she definitely doesn't appreciate when people come after her and her husband for how they parent their girls. Her message to them? Basically, love it or leave it. People have opinions and feel free to voice them, but I stay strong on who I am and who we are, and I'm sorry if you don't like that. We're trying to do what's best for our family and our kids. OutDaughtered Recap 080123, Season 9 Episode 4 Blake and the Babysitting. Tonight on TLC OutDaughtered, the reality show starring the Busby family returns with an all-new Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, episode, and we have your OutDaughtered recap below. On tonight's OutDaughtered Season 9 Episode 4, in a pinch on a big night out, Adam and Danielle debate about whether Blake is ready to babysit the Quints. The Grayson B storefront impacts Danielle's health. Adam and Riley have an unexpected adventure while brushing up on her soccer skills. So make sure to bookmark this spot and come back from 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern Time for our OutDaughtered recap. While you wait for the recap, make sure to check out all our television recaps, spoilers, news, and more right here. Tonight's OutDaughtered recap begins now. Refresh page often to get the most current updates. In tonight's OutDaughtered episode, Danielle's business was up and running. She had a dream. She wanted to have a kids' clothing line. It took her a few years, and now she has a store. She was selling her clothes. The business was doing well. The only thing she needed now was a sign. Her place didn't have one, but those things are crucial. The sign can tell everyone that her children's clothes were there and to help increase traffic to the store. Danielle was working on that sign. Only some things had to come first. Her family had to come first. Celebrating her twin sister's 40th birthday also had come to first. 40 was a big birthday. Danielle wanted to be there to celebrate with her family. She just couldn't find a babysitter for her 6 daughters. She and her husband waited a little too late to find one so last minute. She usually asks her sisters, and she couldn't do that for their birthday. Neither she nor Adam could turn to family at this time. They instead had to consider hiring an outsider. The adults talked about it amongst themselves, and they weren't entirely sure if hiring a stranger would be best right now. It's just that everything is so much harder after the pandemic. There was a shortage in literally every field. It got so bad that they even considered Blake as a babysitter. Blake was a preteen. She was a great big sister. She was fun, and the Quintuplets do listen to her. The one issue was that they weren't sure Blake was ready to be left on her own. Danielle and Adam have been in other places in the house when Blake was watching her sisters. And one of the Quints had almost burnt down the house by microwaving noodles with no water in it. They did that because Blake said it would be okay. Luckily, the noodles only created a lot of smoke. Danielle and Adam were there, and they quickly put it out. They just didn't want to leave Blake in charge in case she lets her younger sisters experiment again, which was why they tried to hire a stranger. They called around, and they couldn't find a single person to help them out. It was on the day of that they realized they had to go to their last resort. They had to let Blake babysit. And they tried to make things easier for their eldest by heading off the Riley problem. Riley was the one with the most energy out of all their kids. She'd be off doing her own thing while everyone else was going to bed. The parents didn't want to leave Blake to face Riley in all her glory. Adam later played a few games with Riley. He kept her active in the hope of it tiring her out, and then he left it up to Blake. Blake wouldn't be by herself. She will have her cousins with her. Her aunt's kids were around the same age as Blake, and they were all put in charge of the Quints while the adults went out to dinner. Not to say that the adults were truly comfortable with leaving kids by themselves. Danielle texted Blake several times throughout the night to check in. She and her family also discussed raising kids nowadays. They had a lot more responsibility as kids themselves. They just didn't trust their kids to be as careful as they were. The oldest kid at the house was Lily. She was 14, and her mom had actually met her dad at 16. And so, she wasn't ready for her daughter to meet her future husband in the next 2 years. Then Danielle tried calling Blake. Blake was having so much fun with her siblings and cousins that she ignored 2 calls from her mom. This made Danielle feel worried. She told the others about not getting through, and they were all ready to go home early to collect their kids. They returned to the house to find it eerily quiet. It turns out their kids were waiting for them to put on a skit for the adults. It was part skit, part roast. The kids all had fun, and they made their parents laugh. The most important thing was that the kids worked together. They ate. They cleaned up after themselves. They took showers. They also had time to put together a skit. Everything came together for the older kids. It wasn't until Danielle was putting the Quints to bed that Riley tried jumping off of a dresser, but don't worry, her mother stopped her. And after everything that happened, Danielle finally got a shiny new sign for her store. OutDaughtered. Riley Busby terrified, disobeys. OutDaughtered's Riley Busby is usually pretty rough and tumble, but recently she was pretty scared. In fact, the TLC cutie pie felt so scared that she disobeyed her parents, Adam Busby and Danielle Busby. OutDaughtered. Riley Busby having nightmares. Riley Busby from OutDaughtered told her parents she had a bad nightmare one night. The Quints got used to a certain sleeping arrangement during their home renovation. But once everything was back the way it should be, Riley wasn't ready. OutDaughtered adventurer Riley Busby didn't want to stay in her own room. Danielle asked Riley if she was in Ava Busby and Olivia Busby's bedroom the night before. Riley Busby replied that she had another bad dream. Danielle from OutDaughtered told her that she has to stay in her room so she can get good rest for school. But Riley cried, saying that she felt scared in her room. She said she didn't want to be alone in her room. Most of the time, Riley Busby doesn't show any fear. She's the one out of all the outdaughtered Quints that most people think will take on any challenge. When they went to Canyon Lake, Texas, she was jumping in the water without help and hanging onto the back of kayaks. Outdaughtered viewers said they felt bad for Riley not wanting to be in her room alone. Danielle Busby said them not going to school would have made things work. Going to school helps them become more independent so they can overcome moments like those. Another time Riley shocked everyone was when she put the huge spider at the pet shop. Outdaughtered fans said Riley Busby would do just about anything as long as her parents let her know it was safe. But it doesn't seem like sleeping in her own bed is on her bravery list. Outdaughtered. Enjoying vacation to the maximum. Riley Busby and her outdaughtered family have gone on a lot of fun vacations. Even the short vacations make a big difference when they are pent up inside. The girls don't like staying inside, but if the weather is bad, they often stay cooped up in the house. The outdaughtered family recently escaped the cold and went down to the Florida Keys. They had an amazing time with their family, and fans hope they got it all on camera. Many viewers said they would love to be there in the warmth with them. Danielle and Adam then took the Quints to the Woodlands Resort in Woodlands, Texas. The family-friendly resort has a water park and lazy river and is on 500 acres of land. The family looked like they had an amazing time there, spent time with each other.